Hello everyone, I'm Derrick's mom. I want to start out by saying that I am so proud to be Derrick's mom. I can tell you numerous stories about him growing up, but I only give you a couple. Derrick has always had a love for music. When he was about 5, we bought him a guitar and a little microphone that had a stand, and he would sing, "They call me a fireman, day and night." We heard it all the time. Then when Derrick was
Technical difficulties.
8, we bought a farm. He might have been about 9 or 10 when this happened. We were working on the farm one day, cutting trees, sprouts, etc., cleaning up the field, and we all got thirsty. We had forgot the water at the house, so we sent Derrick to get it while we continued working. We waited on him, and and he started to get worried. So, me being the concerned mom, I went down to check on him. He had touched the four-wheeler. It was probably about a half a mile from our house, so we was concerned, afraid something had happened. When I got to the house, I couldn't find him. And I started looking, and I found him in his bed, and he was sound asleep. I hollered at him, and I said, "What are you doing? We are all up here working, we're thirsty, and you're laying there in the bed asleep?" He said, "But Mom, I was tired." Needless to say, he got to work extra hard the rest of the day.
Yep.
I'm proud of the man he has become, his love for God. He puts God first in his life. He's a great preacher, great husband, and the best father to Isaiah. I love you, son.
Thanks, Mama. Hey, I know we did this kind of for the fun stories, but it's also nice to have our moms actually call and just leave a nice message like that. That's something that's really nice. And so those are all true. You can tell the difference in age because you were singing "Achy Breaky" and I was singing "They Call Me a Fireman" by George Strait back in the day. But and that is a 100% true story. I did go home to get water to my family that was all very thirsty and just decided to go crawl in bed. And
How old were you, 16?
No, I was. If I'd been 16, I probably would have got beat. I was probably, probably 10 or 11, and that was probably the only thing that saved me that day. So
Yeah, 10, 11. That's old enough to ride down a public highway on a four-wheeler.
that's it. That's the farm life.
That's awesome.
That's not the only story about what. Like, 'cause I was telling somebody the other day, like when we were cutting tobacco at your dad's farm, and I didn't finish my row before I went and got a water out of the cooler.
Oh, yeah.
And you would have thought that I had created the worst sin ever. Like I got ridiculed because I didn't know that was the rule at that time. I wasn't that old, but I didn't finish my row before I went and got because I got thirsty and like, oh no, like you can't go get something out of the cooler until you end the row. I didn't realize that was the rules.
The unspoken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But,
That's
man,
awesome.
We all like. I'll say this because we all know each other's mamas, and we all were blessed when it
Yes,
came
sir.
to having some pretty amazing mamas. And before I